Hi, welcome to What the Hey. Thank you for joining me to learn the answer to a question that I received, and that question is written down in my notebook as why the hey does Halloween 3 not have Michael Myers? And this question comes from Mr. 2007, so hello to you and thank you once again for the question. So in order to answer this question, I feel like it's good to split my answer up into different segments. First, I'm going to explain the plot of Halloween 3 because I feel like that's helpful. Then I will explain the response that it got. Then I will explain the reason, which is also technically the answer. And then also give my general opinion about the answer. So that's how we're doing it. So Halloween 3 essentially revolves around a mysterious murder that coincides with microchip masks that, when activated, release these random beams and also spooky scary bugs. And it's kind of funny because this question is technically incorrect because there is a very small cameo of Michael Myers on like a television screen, so technically he's in the movie, it just doesn't focus on him. And the reason as to why this question really exists at all is because Halloween 3 does feature Michael Myers, like, in a minuscule sense, but it doesn't focus on him, whereas, like, the past two movies were pretty much Michael Myers related, so people were very confused. And if you ask someone who's really into the Halloween franchise, they'll probably suggest skipping the movie overall because it doesn't focus on Michael Myers, but there are some people who really like it in general because it's kind of different. With the overall response to Halloween 3 being really negative, the actual director of the movie was kind of like, I'm pretty hurt by this because I put effort and time into it, which is true. Like, any movie requires effort and like thought behind it. So the director was kind of like, that's kind of sad. Like, we tried to do a new thing and everyone kind of hated it. So he kind of faced a lot of criticism for it, kind of to the point where the fourth Halloween is literally called The Return of Michael Myers. So I've gone over the plot and kind of the response to Halloween 3 and how it didn't really focus on Michael Myers. Now I will explain the reason as to why he really wasn't in it, which the purpose behind Michael Myers not really being featured in Halloween 3 was because the people who were behind the Halloween series kind of originally wanted it to be an anthology with different stories. So originally they didn't just want to focus on Michael Myers, they wanted to tell different stories. Like, the original purpose was to create stories centered and focused around Halloween as a holiday rather than just one character. Which, around the time that like Halloween 1 and 2 were created, sequels weren't very common, so they weren't expecting initially to create a bunch of movies on one character, but that's kind of what people ended up wanting. Kind of unfortunately, because the people who made this stuff were like, we're gonna do different characters, and everyone basically said, don't do that. Which goes into my general opinion because the reason why Halloween as a series focuses on Michael Myers so much is because people like him as a character. Which the reason as to why people like Michael Myers so much is because he's a practically impossible character to kill. He's very strong. He's pretty much like invulnerable to like guns, knives, like the general stuff that you should die from. He doesn't really do that. Overall, as a spooky, scary Halloween holiday character, he's very recognizable, so when the third Halloween movie came out and he wasn't in it, people were like, why? And I was looking into some of the interviews from the people who made the movies, and they were saying the trailers and advertisements for the movie didn't exactly convey the message and the idea they were going for, so they were kind of understanding of the fact that people were really confused as to why it wasn't a movie that they expected it to be when they went in the theater. It was something different, and that was just really confusing for people who wanted to see Michael Myers. So if you're wanting to get into the Halloween movies and you're expecting Michael Myers to be in every single one and be the focus, please don't go in expecting that because that's not really the case, but it's done intentionally. So essentially the answer to this question is that the directors and creators of this series wanted to do something different for Halloween 3, and people didn't really like that, but that's just what happened. But I believe that is the answer to the question, and if you would like to learn and read through the interviews that I got my information from, I will provide that stuff in the description, so that is there for you if you want to do your own personal research and learn more about it. But that is it, so thank you very much for watching. Bye.